Hey guys, Harrison1 back at it once again with a brand new video for you, and what a cracking race we have had in Shanghai. After the first two races were all quality as well, I really didn't think this one would live up to the billing, but my goodness. Right from the get-go, from the crazy qualifying session we had yesterday with an all-Mercedes front row, I knew we were in for a cracker here, and it's exactly what we got. It took a little while to get going, but the second half of the race was superb to watch. It was brilliant. So Rosberg pretty much led the perfect race from start to finish. Had a brilliant start, took control of the race early on, broke his teammate Michael Schumacher, and didn't really look back from there. Like I said, pretty much led all the way, mainly because the other guys behind him were scrapping so much, which I'll get to in a minute. But it's a fantastic win for the Mercedes boys, a team who I said on Twitter on Friday was probably the biggest disappointment of the season so far. This is a team, in my opinion, who had a very good package underneath them, yet failed to cash it in. And I thought they were this close, like, you know, me pressing my forefinger and my thumb together, this close to being a race-winning team, and they finally got it. And it's something I think that Ross Brawn, Norbert Hogg and all the guys at Mercedes really have deserved. I'm very happy for them that they're a British-based team. I know it's Mercedes and they're German, but they're based in Brackley in the UK. A great little team. Ross Brawn is one of the sport's true greats, and I'm extremely happy for him. For Nico to get his first win after over 100 race starts reminds me of a certain Englishman, world champion, also under Ross Brawn at one point or another. Yeah, him. But I'm very happy for Nico. I mean, they all get along like mates up there. It was very nice to see Nico Rosberg, Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton, your top three in the end, all get along so well. And I think everybody was just extremely delighted for Nico and the Mercedes team. They're a great team. So congratulations, Nico. Well deserved. It's about time you got one. The only retirement of the race was Michael Schumacher, who just once again has just been plagued by bad luck this season. This time, he was going in for his first pit stop, and a mistake by his pit crew where his front right tyre was not bolted on properly, and as a result, it just wouldn't work, and he lost all driving that side of the wheel, and obviously he had to park it and retire. So another non-finish for Schumacher, and that's just horrible luck for him. He just hasn't had anything go for him really this season, and you know, it's a shame. When you see Rosberg up there winning a race, I mean, you've got to think Schumacher would have had a good shot at a second or a third in that race if his car held out, just like in Australia, really. So, unfortunately for Michael, another non-finish for him. He was actually the only retirement of the race. But enough about that. Let's talk about the epic battles that were going on throughout the midfield. Just awesome racing from Lewis Hamilton, Jenson Button, Mark Webber, Sebastian Vettel, Romain Grosjean, Bruno Senna, other guys like that, all in the midfield, scrapping like crazy, and all trying to find a way around each other. The thing is, the DRS wasn't that great an overtaking zone till right at the end of the race, pretty much, when guys' tyres were starting to fall apart, and Red Bull, because they haven't got very good top end speed down that massive straight, started to fall apart. But just some quality overtaking. Lewis Hamilton, I think, was absolutely on fire today. Some superb passing from him. Just like, I think Hamilton might be back to his best here, people. I know the results don't show it because it's third, but this third was when he was starting 7th after the 5th-place grid drop he had to suffer for changing his gearbox. So that's a +4 for Hamilton. So it's rather that than the 2 -2s he's had, 2nd and 3rd. But overall, let's have a quick rundown of the top 10 here. Jenson Button in 2nd, great race from him. I think he may have factored even closer to Rosberg if it wasn't for his pit stop error he had late on. Kind of unfortunate, but still another very nice 2nd place for Jenson Button, who's now 2nd in the World Championship as well. I think 2 points behind Lewis Hamilton. Speaking of Lewis Hamilton, he came in 3rd. Again, great drive from Lewis. He was absolutely on fire today. Superb drive, great overtaking. Standard Hamilton behaviour now, but it looks like he's calmed himself down and he's got his mind back in the game. So I think Hamilton could be a real threat for the title this year if he keeps this going. He now leads the World Championship after his 3 third-place finishes. Mark Webber in 4th. Webber did a great job today as well. Not the best start as usual from him, but once again, always fighting, always putting in good laps, always being extremely good, overtaking and being defensive. He probably would have had a 3rd or a 2nd if it wasn't for the fact that he made an error trying to stop Lewis Hamilton from coming through. But again, a great 4th place for Webber. Sebastian Vettel in 5th. Now, as much as Vettel gets a hard time for many people on the internet, this was a great drive from Sebastian. It's just really unfortunate his tyres fell away towards the end of the race because everyone was running a 2-stop strategy and the tyres pretty much hit the cliff the last 3 or 4 laps, and he was passed by Button, Hamilton and Webber. Grosjean was pretty close to passing him too, but from 11th, a great drive from Sebastian to get 5th in the end. It could have been 2nd if the tyres just held on for maybe 2 laps longer. But again, Vettel can't really complain for a +6 finish. Grosjean in 6th. He finally finished the race. He lasted more than 2 laps this time. But good points for Grosjean. A very, very solid 6th place from him. The Senna name is alive and well. Bruno Senna following up his great 6th place in Malaysia with a 7th here in China. Once again, the Williams team looks like they're back on form and they're doing very, very well. Again, another very solid points finish for Bruno. Pastor Maldonado in 8th finally finishes a race because he's been hit by the worst luck ever. I mean, after the crash in Australia, the engine blew out on the last lap in Malaysia. Pastor comes along in 8th, so that's again 4 solid points for Pastor and a well-deserved finish there. He was duking it out with Fernando Alonso at the end, who made a couple of driver errors. He could have had a better day than the 9th place he ended up finishing with, but still a solid drive from Fernando. And Kamui Kobayashi rounding off the top 10 in 10th, who also had the fastest lap of the race, in case you were curious about that. But another guy who could have really been up there was Kimi Raikkonen, who looked very, very good in the race. Was looking very strong for 2nd place. But again, he hit the cliff. He was on the softer compound tyres to finish the race when everyone else was on the hards, and he hit the cliff and just sank right down the order, eventually ending up in 14th place. Really unfortunate in the end because I think Renault just got the strategy slightly wrong. I think the hard tyres were the ones to be on over the course of the race. I think the softs were deteriorating too quickly, and Kimi as a result suffered because of that. I mean, Kimi said after the race that it was one of 2 things: either go with this strategy or go for a free stopper, which clearly wasn't the way to go in this one. So it just didn't work out for him and ended up finishing 14th. But again, could have been a really, really great result for Renault. But Grosjean, I think, will happily take 6th in the grand scheme of things. So, you know, that's just how it is. But overall, a great race. This has been a quality race. And you know what? This season, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this could be the best Formula 1 season ever, because so many guys are so close and competitive. I don't agree with the fact they nerfed the Red Bulls, because the Red Bulls, the dominant team from last year, hasn't won a race. But if you think about it for a minute, we've had 3 races, 3 different race winners, and 3 different teams. Something that's really, really quite eye-opening when you think about it and you see just how wide open the field is here. Any guy who has a good day could be in the top 3. I mean, we saw Sergio Perez in 2nd at Malaysia. We had Button winning in Australia. We had, obviously, Fernando winning in Malaysia. And now a Mercedes winning. So 3 race wins, 3 different drivers, 3 different teams, and not one of them is a Red Bull. Goes to show you something, doesn't it? But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the race. I had a really fun scrap with Webber, who, for some reason, was just, like, miles better than the rest of the field around Shanghai. I have no idea why. We all know that Formula 1 2011's AI is messed up. I'll talk about that later, because I'm actually going to be reviewing the game properly and telling people in depth what my thoughts are on Formula 1 2011 in a future video, probably sometime this coming week. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the vid. Part, I think it's going to be 15 of my playthrough is coming very soon. Harrison vs. the World live streaming will take place very soon as well. That's definitely in the works. So, with all that being said and done, I think I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of the video. I've been Harrison101. Oh, just before I go, by the way, just before I forgot. Comment question for you guys. I'm copying Ray William Johnson here but I can. Comment question of the day. Who is your favourite Formula 1 driver and why? I always wanted to know this. Who do you guys support in the sport? I know people have asked me before, who do I personally support? I don't really support anybody, to be honest. I just enjoy the sport. But if I had to back somebody, it would be probably Sebastian Vettel. I've always liked his style. I've always liked his confidence, his swagger, his sense of humour, and the fact he's a racer. I mean, people said he couldn't overtake, and he put off some brilliant moves last season. So if I had to back somebody, I'd back Sebastian Vettel, but I don't really. I just enjoy the sport for what it is. But who is your favourite Formula 1 driver on the field right now, and why? Comment below, let me know. I've been Harrison101, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Thank you everybody for getting me to 800 subscribers. You guys are the best. Thank you very much for watching, and sayonara.